Let's go.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mics, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
Alrighty, guys, here we go again. We got us a special episode today. As you can tell, we're in festive attire.
Festive attire. We are celebrating No King's Day, the real one, which is
4th of
Independence Day, 4th of July.
So for all the people that don't know, that is the true No King's Day, because
That is when we told the king to leave us alone.
go F yourself, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it took us like 3 months to get it across the ocean back to the king, but hey, I mean, we basically said, screw you in about a week or a month or 2 months or whatever it's going to take.
It was probably 3 to 6 months.
I don't know how the trade winds worked back then.
Sure, they work the same now. Just no one sails across the Atlantic anymore.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They do.
They just use engine power now.
Well, but sailed.
Hey, Greta did really good. She got all the way into the Med and then got turned around.
Didn't they get pulled in?
Oh yeah, she's got shipped back home and her boat has been seized.
Speaking of that, did you hear that Rosie's getting deported from Ireland?
You're kidding me. For what, eating too many potato chips?
Is the funniest thing.
Too many fish and chips?
I guess so. They said this is a while back already, so she should be back by now. But they were like, you have 30 days to get out.
I love it.
It's great.
And I bet you she's like,
oh, absolutely.
Even Ireland doesn't love me. Yeah, nobody loves you, Rosie. You're an
beep. Oh, wait, I got a sound for that. So the No King's Day, the true No King's Day.
Yes.
Independence Day, 4th of July. We obviously love that day.
Yes, we do.
If you couldn't tell.
America.
It's everywhere. But it's the real No King's Day. No one really understands what a king really is.
They think they're dumb. And honestly, even in England, they have the monarchy, but the king doesn't really run. King Charles doesn't really run the country.
Well, did you hear the funny thing about that whole protest they had going with that? In Canada, they had it going to, and some places in Europe, but they couldn't call it No King's Day.
Because they have a king.
Actually have a king.
No Freedom Day. Let's do No Freedom Day. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So it's just funny.
I've never seen more Americans celebrating the violation of law than I have during this crap.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
You're deporting people that are here illegally and that have people and that have hurt people and then have. I'm trying to think what I can say. I already have to bleep out a couple of them. Oh yeah, they're the best people ever.
Well, so that's
we already talked to Train to Argua guy, so we won't get into that again.
We won't talk about that one again.
Same idea.
It's basically that though. Yeah. That's kind of what started it.
They're celebrating criminals.
So that's one of the things is.
But I mean, if you live in California, that's not surprising. Losers.
California's just California's something else. Did you see that they Trump finally repealed their whole thing? They got it all done. So by 2035,
the electric car mandate thing, that's gone.
They weren't going to allow any gas ones.
Yeah, good luck. So the California power grid can't even handle the cars that it's got now. They have rolling brownouts.
Yeah. So could you imagine?
Well, because we have to only make electricity off of, renewable resources. So, that, and then we'll buy it from Arizona, who still uses natural gas and coal-fired plants. But we just won't tell the people of California that's where we're getting our power.
That's where I know it's above 50% of power comes from.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Well, I mean, coal is technically renewable. As soon as you burn it, you get another train load of it in. Hey, look, it's back. Yeah. Solar power doesn't have enough. Wind power doesn't have enough to run. It's not viable yet.
Well, even then, solar power, the concept of it's great. If you do it right, you put it
Well,
on
I
top
use it
rooftops
on
and
my
everything.
house to keep me out of the high kilowatt hours, so it brings my bill down.
Yeah.
I never thought it was going to be the 100% end all be all for my house.
No, it's
you would be
it's helpful.
asinine to think that.
It's like a hybrid.
Yeah. Oh, you
Essentially.
can make houses off grid, but
Oh, yeah.
it requires way more money than I was willing to invest.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. So solar farms, they don't realize they're like, oh, solar farms are great. You can do this, that, and the other. They have to kill everything in that area to be able to for those solar panels to work properly.
Yeah, because you can't have any grass or anything grow up underneath them, and
so
can't have animals tunneling underneath it, so they kill everything.
Everything.
Kind of like when you plant soybeans, you have to like literally kill everything other than soybeans.
So, did you watch Yellowstone?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when when John had the protester and he's like, "How cute does an animal have to be for you to actually care about it?"
Yeah.
It's
Same
kind of
concept.
the same concept. They don't. People don't realize the cost of everything. So.
No.
We'll start off our our freedom episode.
I will let you lead.
We'll start off
because
our
I am
freedom
getting
episode.
lots of sleep now
I wonder why.
because I'm retired.
It's great. It's kind of weird seeing you this chipper this early.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm actually awake. I haven't had 3 hours of sleep for the last 4 days. I actually got almost. Yeah, I got 9 hours of sleep last night.
I can't remember the last time I've slept for 9 hours.
That's like 4 days in a row of sleep for me normally. Like
That's like your whole week's
that's
worth
my
of
whole
sleep.
week's worth of sleep. Yeah, so it's changed a little bit.
Well, that's good. You
Yeah.
seem a little more enthusiastic today.
Well, I mean, the 20 coffees didn't hurt either. But now I'm like, I have like old man timing. I'm
You're
up
waking
at
up.
like 4:30 in the morning. I mean, we went to bed. We went to bed pretty early last night, so we got back from
8:30.
pretty much. Yeah, we had a friend of ours move somewhere, so we went and went out to the party for them to move. You hot?
Just a little.
Here, let me turn the AC away from me towards you. There.
Thank
That feel
you.
better?
It does.
Your
I can
balls
feel
feeling
it.
nice and cool now? They retracting back into the body a little bit?
Feels great. Yeah,
No,
they're
we
just-
really need to finish off the studio and get that up.
Yeah, it would make a huge difference for
Yeah,
the rest
because
of
then
the
it'll
summer.
only cool this area, which it can do easily, not a whole garage.
Yeah,
And it's not a small garage either.
No, 3-car garage.
We ought to just literally build it in. But then the only problem with that is then I know,
Yeah, it cuts off.
and I have to take it off my square footage in my garage.
Well,
Unless we do a rolling door, that would be kind of cool.
there's a
Rolling garage door.
like a garage door. That'd be awesome.
That could
but-
actually work, honestly.
But there's also, so if we end up building a house, if the plan is to make a big garage,
Well,
anyway,
yeah.
so then we'd build in a studio into that garage.
Yeah, exactly. And just have it
Because then that'd be perfect.
have it
'cause
plumbed into the rail AC of the house. Or a
I
mini
think
split.
it would probably have its own,
Mini split, yeah.
because it'd probably be its own section, like the shops that people have.
Yeah.
Probably be something like that, because having that extra space,
It's worth it.
oh yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yes.
But on to our first topic
All right,
for today.
topic number one.
So I was showing you earlier. Did you see? I got it.
I didn't do it during the intro, so
Had to do it sometime.
Yeah.
So Jerry Jones's one-liner about the star on the helmet
I did not
to
see
Lady Gaga.
I did not see it.
So I kind of brought it up. I showed you a little, showed you kind of the intro to it, but essentially it was breaking news, quote unquote breaking news, because Lady Gaga approached the Cowboys with she would do a show for their season opener
Yeah.
if they were, and I'm sure they were going to pay for it too, but
Oh,
she
yeah.
would do the show if Dallas would make an openly pro LGBT ad forever in their stadium. So it'd be like a sign that was there forever. Jerry Jones's response was awesome. See if I can find it. But essentially, it goes back and forth. The whole article I have it brought up here. This is one of the reasons. This is one of the good things about Jerry Jones. Almost hate everything else,
Yeah.
but his love for the country, his love of like freedom and all that is one of the reasons I like him. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. It's
Oh, it's resetting.
yeah, it's resetting. He
Are you
told her-
recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything's recording. I think we're good this episode. So his one-liner to her was, the star on our helmets stands for everyone, and that's already forever.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Because they were trying to
go woke.
Yeah.
Just leave it be.
They were trying to approach him with like, it'd be like a more inclusive.
Yeah.
He's like, that's what the star on the helmet's for. I love that.
I do.
That's great, right?
That includes everyone.
It does. And that's the thing. That's what the flag stands for.
That's what the American flag stands for. And the Constitution, it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Except illegal aliens.
But that's the thing. If they did it legally, it'd be for them too.
Yeah. Exactly.
If we're kind of
well, and here's one of the biggest things, like with me, that drives me nuts about all these protesters. They have no clue how immigration law works.
No, not at all.
You don't need a warrant to pick somebody up who's illegally in the country who has been ordered deported. So half of these people they're dealing with are people who have claimed asylum, who have missed their court date. After they miss that court date, they receive a notice within 30 days at the address that they gave the court.
Yes.
And if they don't respond to that address, they're done. It's called removal in absentia, because they didn't go to their court date. They didn't go to their asylum hearing. They are ordered removed. No warrant needed, not necessary, out of the country as soon as you're approached and talked to. That's it. You don't need a warrant.
Yeah, because
their warrant is the fact that they missed court. It is a bench warrant. A removal in absentia or a order of deportation is a de facto warrant. Period.
So it's
oh, show me the warrant. Show me the warrant. There is no warrant. There doesn't need to be.
So all it is
you've already proven that you will flee. You have missed your court date.
It's semantics.
Twice.
It's semantics is really what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not called a warrant.
No. It's called a notice to appear.
Yeah.
A warrant, it's called a WANTA, a warrant of arrest / notice to appear.
Yes.
If you do not go to your notice to appear, if you do not go to court, your warrant is automatically issued and you are removed in absentia. Every single person they're grabbing has already been ordered removed by a judge. There is no more appeals at that point. You missed your chance. And these people are so stupid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous the way that,
like, if you had a true asylum claim, you are going to go to court to have it adjudicated, because then you get legal status in the United States. You get a social security number. You can work. All these things can happen.
Yeah,
but they just don't realize it because they're dumb.
Yeah.
So these protesters don't have any idea what they're talking about.
I don't know. I'm kind of giving a little bit of the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not. You're waving a Mexican flag while you're waving a flag of a country you don't want to go back to, saying our country's horrible and waving the flag. Well, then go back to your own friggin' country and be done with it.
So,
go Mexico! I don't want to go back. Don't send me.
You've seen those cartoons?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
It is. It's
absolutely true.
That's exactly what they're doing. But what I was saying is, I give people a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because of what gets put out there, how it gets put out there, and it's a semantic game. People don't.
They hear warrant, they think everybody is required a warrant for an arrest, and you don't.
Or due process. Due process.
They've already had due process.
But that's the thing. People don't realize due process doesn't mean a trial.
No. Due process is not a trial.
Because that's the same thing. If you get arrested for criminal speeding or breaking and entering, whatever it may be, and you get offered a plea, like, okay, we're going to knock this down to this.
Yeah.
You pay this fine, do whatever. That's due process. You didn't go to trial.
Yeah. You don't have to go to a trial. You don't have to go to a jury. You don't have to go to a judge.
Trial has nothing to do with due process.
And here's the thing. You have proven you are a flight risk to be held then without bond because you didn't go to your court case. If you miss a court case, they issue you what is called a bench warrant. It's not a warrant like entering your house warrant. It's different. It'll just say that you are to be picked up as soon as possible. That's no different. They're issued a bench warrant by being removed in absentia. Their court case has already been decided.
So here we go. Here's a good little one. So I put in definition of due process because people are just retarded when it comes to the whole thing. In legal context, due process refers to the principle that the government must respect all persons' legal rights when it deprives them of life, liberty, or property.
Fourth Amendment.
Legal rights. Due process ensures that legal proceedings are fair and just. It says nowhere.
You skipped your legal proceeding.
Even if you don't, you take something before. Saw something in there where it was saying, but essentially due process, fundamental rights granted by the 5th and 14th Amendments. Due process applies to civil and criminal matters. It is the cornerstone of the legal system. Common example. Due process requires that the accused be informed of the charges against them, have the opportunity to present a defense, and have their case decided by a fair and impartial judge or jury.
Yes.
So
in an immigration case, for specifically,
yeah, but
when they come and claim asylum, they are given all their paperwork saying, if you do not go here, if you do not go to court, you will be removed.
Yes,
you will be ordered removed and will be required to leave the country immediately. They sign the paperwork. It's given. It's handed to them, and then they have a court date that they're given. And then if they don't go to their court date, they have missed it and they are removed.
See, but this is where semantics all play in. Legal proceedings.
They already had their legal proceeding.
What is legal proceedings at that point?
In immigration, it's an immigration judge.
It doesn't, and there was already something granted before that to where it doesn't need to necessarily go all the way to the judge.
No. Well,
That's
I mean, every single removal in absentia is done by a judge. It's signed by a judge.
Yes. But I'm saying, like,
so if you don't go to court, the judge that you are supposed to go to court will sign your removal. Yes. You has no choice. It's law. You are required to. It is a condition of requirement. So basically, when you're paroled in or you're given a court date later on, when it comes to people crossing the border, that court date that you're given, that is your chance. That is it. You are basically bonded out at that point. You are on bond already. And when anybody does not follow the conditions of their bond, they are arrested, brought in, and they face the legal ramifications of that situation. Now, because they're a person from another country, the legal ramification for them is to be removed to their country. And that is really the only relief that they're ever offered. Yeah. Unless there is a compelling reason, which there never is, because you're given a time frame to appeal it.
Yep.
You actually get a notice in the mail saying you have been removed. If you want to appeal your case, call this number.
Time, yeah. You have this much time to reach out.
And because they give you fake addresses.
Yeah. A lot of times that's what it comes down to.
Or they didn't
update their address.
Yeah, and they are required by law to update their address within 3 days of moving.
Which that's pretty much everybody.
That's in the state of Arizona. Days. It's 30 days. If you become a resident of Arizona, within 30 days, you have to get by law an Arizona ID.
Yep.
That includes military members who are here on TDY. That includes everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Actually, not TDY. If they're a change of station.
Yes, change of station.
They have to get an Arizona ID. That's law.
Yeah. Because
and you're celebrating people breaking the law and attacking people because they're doing their job. Well, that's the sad part.
So law.com, assuming that's a fairly reputable thing, it says a fundamental principle of fairness in all legal matters. Okay. Fundamentally, this is something people don't understand. Fairness in all legal matters.
Yes.
Fairness, the concept of fair and equal outcome, that kind of stuff, it's two different things.
Yes.
If we both did something, say, and we were both getting arrested for whatever reason, and my charges were worse, I did, and they offered you, here's a warning, you're good.
Yeah.
And they offered me some kind of fines. That's not fair.
But it is.
Is it though?
Yes, it is.
We were both doing it at the same time, but your charges were less because you weren't as involved.
Yes.
It's still fair. People don't understand fair.
Yeah. Fair doesn't mean equal.
No.
Ever. Never means equal.
So that's the thing is they convolute all that kind of stuff. So,
well, I don't think it's fair that I pay 25% of my income in taxes when somebody who literally earns about $10,000 less than me only pays 20%. Why do I all of a sudden, because I make $10,000 more, I now have to pay, now it's progressive, so it's just on the top portion of it, but how is that fair? How is it fair that people get tax returns for more than they pay in to taxes?
Yeah, see, that's insane.
That's not fair.
That's insane.
And it happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's every rich, poor, everywhere.
So I listen to this podcast. I don't know if
You
you know
listen
who
to this
Tim Pool
podcast?
is.
Good.
I listen to this
I'm
one,
glad
too.
you listen to our podcast. That's great.
I listen to it too.
You
No,
live it, edit it, and review it and watch it.
Oh, jeez. I basically live this podcast.
Yeah, I know.
But
It's beautiful.
But Tim Pool, Tim Cast IRL, he's actually fairly liberal, but I like the way he's very open-minded. He sees kind of what's being put out there, and he breaks everything down.
Yeah.
And they say he's alt-right. He's not. He's very liberal views on a lot of things.
If you don't agree with, you can't tell what a woman is, and you need to have a month of pride, and guns are terrible, and you shouldn't arrest anybody because it's just they're a victim of their situation, then you're a liberal. Anything else, you're alt-right or right or far right or crazy or
So
they're so nuts.
But I do
That's why
enjoy
the Democrats
listening to
are
him.
losing everything.
Yeah, I do enjoy listening to him because he's more in the center, but he breaks everything down, and he was talking about it. Now I forgot what point I was getting at with it, but
Shiny.
yeah, shiny object got me. But he talks about due process. He's talked about all this kind of stuff and how due process doesn't mean same exact process for everybody. Yeah. It's the process that you are due.
Yes.
Based on your situation.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with taxes. Like he's even brought up the tax thing. Like,
yeah,
how's that fair that, anything above, I don't remember the numbers. Yeah. It's about 50%. It's almost 50%.
The top 1% pay something like 90% of the taxes already. Or 70% or so. It's like some astronomical number.
It's above half.
Oh yeah.
The top
above half.
Yeah. And that's what it was. So he brought up that people don't realize what a net taxpayer is.
Oh yeah, no, they don't.
Like it's some crazy number, and people were like, "Oh well, I paid this much in taxes, and I only get this much in return."
Yeah,
I paid $10,000 in taxes, and I only got back $6,000 at the end of the year. That still doesn't make you a net taxpayer.
No,
because the rest of that goes into all this other stuff. To be a net taxpayer, you're paying
to be in that tax bracket. You're getting some sort of assistance somehow.
Yeah. And people don't realize they think we live in this world that everything's just given.
Well, it is. It's given to me because it's not my money.
Well, but I'm saying like roads.
But that's not my money. It's just there.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah. How's the government do all this stuff? Oh, they just poop wads of cash out. Oh no, they take it from someone else. To spend it.
Yeah. So the idiots want to thank Sketchy Alias, one of our founding sponsors, for everything he has done for us. Sketchy works in vector-based design and has been working in the design field for 15 years.
His designs have been used on coins, apparel, websites, and logos. Sketchy is also a veteran who serves this great nation. Thank you for your friendship, work ethic, and service. That's why the whole Doge thing.
Yeah, that was...
Finding the kind of money that they found that was being funneled into these stupid projects is unbelievable.
Oh, do you want to hear the funniest thing? I just saw this the other day too. I just saw the headline, looked at it real quick, and I didn't really read the article, but it said about how Doge caused so many people to get AIDS in Africa.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, that's not how that works.
No, well, it's like, we were sending, was it 400,000 or 4 million condoms? 4 million condoms to Gaza.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, so like this whole Africa thing, it had to do with, it's because USAID was funding this much medication that helps prevent STDs or STIs, whatever the hell they call them now. And they're saying that because of Doge cuts, Doge caused this many people to get STDs in Africa. I was laughing so hard.
Well, because the guy sticking the winky in the wahudas, has no. Once again, it's the same people. No personal responsibility for anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, she wouldn't have gotten pregnant if I had a condom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got the STD if USAID would have been there and gave me a condom. Like, really? Come on.
If they would have given me that medication, that would have
I would have prevented me from getting an STD.
Or, you can do other measures.
Or you can do other measures like wear a condom or not have sex with a STD riddled hooker.
Yeah. it's so bad.
It's just dumb. Like that, you can't, like, almost when I say it and people are going to be like, oh, that's really rude and blah. But do you realize how dumb you sound? Like, no offense, gays for Palestine or gays for Iran, they will throw you off a building as soon as you get there.
Yeah,
Go there and do that.
Well, did you see
And they will throw you off a building.
Did you see that, though? In Egypt, they started turning people around because they were trying to go through there. People don't realize this thing, these here,
protect you way more than you think. You do not have those rights anywhere else.
They're like, we're not free.
You're more free than anywhere else.
You're able to say that means you're free. They don't understand.
Oh, wait, you mean if you were in a place that had a king and you had a no kings parade and they shut you down and you changed the name of it in your country because you have a king because they would kill you if you did it? Yeah, let's be honest. You got way more freedom than you think. A real king wouldn't allow it.
No.
Now, did you see Trump's tweet after it?
No.
I woke up today. Thank God I woke up today and there was no king. I was still your president. That's funny. I'm sorry. He is like a master troller. Honestly, absolutely. He is. He is so good at trolling.
It's hilarious.
Because I look at some of the stuff and I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't have written that down.
But
even funny. If I may agree with some of it, I certainly was like, there's been a few that I've been like, ooh.
But that's the thing is some of it's very. They say he's very bombastic and all that. He is.
He's a businessman.
He's over the top.
He's a multi-billionaire business.
But that's the thing.
That's what they do.
He's established that most of the stuff he's saying, the way he's saying it, isn't necessarily like, oh, I 100% believe this. It's kind of, I'm getting a rise out of you.
He's poking. He's poking just to get people mad.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I kind of love it. And I kind of like, sometimes I'm like, would you just shut up?
Stop saying
Just be a president, please.
But that's the greatest part about him is he's not a politician.
No, he's not. He is definitely not a politician.
That's the best person. So that brings me into this next point. The founding fathers aged during the revolution.
Young.
But that was the whole thing. All of them, they weren't really politicians.
No. And that's why the breaks for Congress and the breaks for government work were where they were at. They coincide with planting season and harvest season. That's why the congressional breaks are where they're at. Yeah. The whole point of being a politician or being in Congress or the Senate or a president was to go there, govern, go back to your house, be with your constituents. None of these DC people, very few of them anyway, I won't say none of them, very few of these politicians do that. They don't care about their constituents once they get to DC.
No.
We're going to have a virtual town hall. No, maybe you should be there and feel their rigor, feel their anger. And there's a reason for that because you're not doing, if you're afraid of being in front of your constituents in person because you're afraid they're angry,
there's some kind of problem.
Maybe you're not doing what you should be doing. Yeah. And that's the point.
There's some problem there. Yeah. So I typed it in here, and the only person that was old, supposedly, was Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
He was in his 70s at the time of the Declaration. We got 20s, Thomas Lynch, Edward Rutledge, Alexander Hamilton. 30s, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, John Adams. 40s, George Washington.
Well, I mean, think about this, though, too. Like, most people died by 50 back then. Like, let's be honest. The average lifespan. So they were old for their...
I think it was like late 30s, early 40s. So I mean, average lifespan during that time period.
So back then, like, to be a president, you had to be 37 years old. So you were aged.
Yeah, you were the wise.
You were well pickled at that point. Like, you were 1 foot in the grave.
So, but isn't that crazy that it's they were young when you really consider it.
Oh yeah, I mean, shoot.
Imagine being in that time period in your 20s, early 30s, because Thomas Jefferson 33.
In our 20s and early 30s, we've still got kids living in their basement.
Yeah. Not paying rent.
My kid's 18. He's already out the house.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
You know you raised a good kid when they want to leave.
When they want to leave. No, but when they're self-sufficient,
Yes.
that's the whole thing. Now he's going to be here and there, but
that's the thing is even if they were to stay till their early 20s in your house, but they were helping and they were like self-sufficient. They didn't really have, it wasn't really a thing of like, oh, I need everything from you still.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing their own thing. You're helping, essentially. You're just over there having fun with you.
Yeah.
But these guys, they were super young, but they understood.
Well, was it in the... It was in the Civil War, I think, that they had like the 14-year-old...
Drummer boys.
The drummer boy... Well, they had the one 14-year-old that was like super decorated from the North.
Yes.
By the time he was 16, he had like more medals in almost every... Like, it just...
And I think it was a drummer boy, wasn't he? But
I don't remember.
He was involved.
I thought he was a message runner, but...
Oh, could have been that too.
But he got shot a couple of times, blown up, and he wanted to keep fighting. Like
that's what they used, like the younger teenagers for, was drummer boys, messengers.
Flag bear. No, not flag bears, because they couldn't hold them. They weren't strong enough.
No. But they...
Well, back then, though, the flag bearers ran into battle at the very beginning.
Yeah,
like,
they were the
You
first.
talk about brave.
Yeah.
Running into battle with
A flag.
no gun.
Yeah, with a flag.
With no firearm, and you're just running with a flag, and you're fighting hand to hand. Like that. That is.
I don't even know if I could do that, to be honest.
Oh, I couldn't. I'm too chicken for that. I don't have that kind. I don't have that kind of courage.
If
maybe I would,
if they didn't have guns.
Okay. Oh yeah, go. But I mean, if you think about like, if things were that bad that we were lining up soldiers that maybe I would. Maybe I would have that courage at that point, because if things have gotten that bad that you're having those kinds of battles, I would defend my nation. But they would have me using a firearm because I'm way better with that than I am with a flag.
They're like, you can't run fast enough.
If we have to retreat, they're going to catch you in the flag.
Yeah, we don't need that happening. But like the drummer boys, there was
you've run 5 feet. Take it. Just leave me behind.
We haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh no. Oh no. Put me in the wagon.
So the funny thing, like you were saying with drummer boys and the messengers, there was a lot of decorated drummer boys because there was some
Red Badge of Courage.
That's the book. Don't think I read it.
Really good. It's about a Civil War, like the flag bearer. Really, really good.
See, that's awesome. Yeah. But there was drummer boys, and I remember specifically, I don't know the name. If any of you guys know, if any of you guys know the actual names of any of these drummer boys and messengers, but I know there was one that was highly decorated because essentially the way that they had done it back then was they would bring them in. That was what they were marching to. Yeah, they would bring them into the battlefield, because that's what they were marching to, was the beat of the drum. And then once things started happening,
beats like a beat of a drum. Isn't that a song or something?
Beat of a drum, I think. But
anyway,
don't even know if that's how it goes.
I just made it up.
But that's how they would come in. But once the battle began, they were basically telling the drummer boys, "Okay, go run the other way.
Yeah,
be at a safe distance." And there was a couple, I think, that they stayed there.
I must be at the front,
and they continued to bring them in step all the way up to the front till they're fighting, and while they're fighting, continued. And that's why there was some that were highly decorated, because they didn't go away and preserve themselves. They're like, no, I'm here for this, because we're fighting for something I truly believe in.
Yep. Well, I mean, and that's like the things that happened, like crazy things that happened in the fog of war. Like they found muskets after like the battles of Gettysburg, Battle of Gettysburg, that had like
what you were saying.
30 rounds stuffed into it. They never fired a round off.
Oh, and
they kept reloading and then pulling a trigger and reloading, never realizing they've never fired their gun because they forgot to put the pan in, or it was clogged up or something. They just kept going. And then,
if you think about it, with everything going
on, World War II, same thing. Tons of weapons were not fired. They found tons of weapons that hadn't even fired a shot. Now, some of them are going to be because they didn't get a chance to. Some of them were because people said, I couldn't shoot another human being. Yeah, and then we changed our training between World War II and Korea. So it used to be you had like people targets in the military. Yeah. Then they went to like silhouettes, and then that made it easier. And they actually have gotten really, really good at making us shoot people.
And so that also comes from
It's psychological.
it's all psychological.
Psychological.
Because in Vietnam they found out that there was a lot of people aiming high on purpose because they couldn't get themselves to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
And that if you think about it, it takes a lot to be able to do something like that. Like there's a lot of people that don't realize, they're like, yeah, I can do that. And when that time comes, it's like,
That's why snipers are a rare breed.
Yeah.
If you talk to anybody who's been a sniper and you're like, oh, do you feel anything when you shoot someone? Oh no, just recoil. Because they've been taught to be trained that's just a target. Just a target.
Well, and so that's the thing. If you really think about it, and I know I had this idea for a while back in the day that snipers were kind of cowards a little. I would have wanted to be a sniper just because I'm good with a rifle, but you think that just because they're so far away from battle, they're so far away from the actual battlefield.
Except they're right in the middle of it.
It's that scope. You're seeing all the emotion on that person's face. You're seeing them up close.
And then you think about, like, snipers aren't just at the back behind the line shooting.
No.
Most of the time, they're the forward observers. They're at the front of the line because they're trained in hiding and being undetectable.
Yes.
So they'll be in there with a laser calling in JDM strikes, and they're surrounded by the enemy. Yeah. Like the song Rooster, Alice in Chains.
Mm-hmm.
It's about I think it was his uncle or whatever that was a sniper.
Yeah.
And he's in there crawling, like Hathcock in there, crawls in amongst the troops and starts sniping out officers. And they're all like, where is he? And they're running around all around him, and they couldn't find him because he was hidden so well. That is pure courage.
Yeah.
Pure courage.
Can you imagine just being in there?
I've watched the sniper school stuff like on TV, and it's like the amount of time they give those guys, like, okay, if we find you, like you're just dead.
Yeah.
You're just dead. And they're like, how they camouflage themselves, and they're moving in amongst troop formations, and you're like, that's
impressive.
That's a skill set for sure. It's a skill set, and you have to have that ability to shut off the emotion in your head, and that's the hardest part.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Well, and you see that after the fact, a lot of PTSD stuff like that. Because they were in there.
Yeah, they did it
a lot more than certain people. Sometimes you'll see videos where they're just kind of firing back from their campsite because they're getting fired on.
Yep.
They don't see anything. It's so far away. They're just kind of throwing rounds downfield. So they don't have that same in-person.
Yeah, like in close fighting. It's not like the trench warfare where you got into the trench and you're fighting hand-to-hand combat the whole time. Like that is just, at that point, I don't even think it comes down to courage. I think that comes down to pure survival.
Yes.
Just, there's no courage there. It's like, oh, he's going to kill me if I don't stab him with my bayonet right now.
Yes.
And that's where they made the trench guns and
and then shotguns got outlawed.
Basically a blunderbuss shoots everything out of there. Yeah, that's like some crazy stuff. Like when you think about how we've programmed people to protect this country.
Well, have you ever seen?
It's pure programming.
Have you seen Black Mirror?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see that episode where because they have those contact lenses that alter things
that were like
the roaches,
and the roaches were actually people.
They were just regular people, but because they visually saw something different
through their helmet. It was the helmet or contact or something.
It was the contacts.
I don't remember. Yeah,
because they had that contact that changed the view when they knew it was certain people.
Yep.
So they thought they were less than human. That's kind of the whole programming. They make you think the enemy is less than human, and it allows you that ability because people can go hunting because it's less than human.
Yeah.
You're hunting an animal.
That and they taste good.
That too.
I don't know if people taste good. I haven't tried one lately.
Long pig.
Yeah.
Make you have a different view every time you have pork and bacon. Bacon's delicious.
I love bacon.
Bacon's way too delicious.
I'll have some thumper strips.
It'd probably be really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of fat in there to flavor it up. And your backstrap.
But and you think about it, it's crazy
Wow, it's weird. It tastes like alcohol.
So I know we it's bourbon. It's bourbon glazed.
Bacon.
No, so you think about America's its own, has really become its own separate thing. It came from England.
Yeah.
It came from Europe, all that stuff. That's kind of the basis.
Kind of a melting pot of Europe, yeah.
And I know we talked about that before, but it really has become its own thing because you look at breakfast. What's breakfast in England? They have it's like beans and toast and some other stuff. It's like very different. Then you have like Canadian bacon.
Ham.
It's basically ham.
Yeah.
Like we have a very different culture being here.
Yep.
And that's just from
we've got
a little bit of a melting.
Bacon, eggs, sausage. Like
it's a very American thing.
Very
like
diverse,
you'll know because
you
go anywhere else, breakfast is very different.
Yes.
So that just goes to show you, like when you assimilate to something, you can bring in a little bit of your culture. Quote unquote culture.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's what made America into America.
Yeah.
It's a whole separate thing. It's not like it's the Norse people came here and brought all their traditions.
Yeah, no, that'd be more like Greenland or Iceland.
No, but I'm just saying, because they were very different
than
any of the surrounding area there. So we have a very culturally diverse system.
Oh, yeah. Well, because you wouldn't normally eat, up in the northern part of the U.S., you wouldn't eat grits for breakfast.
Yeah. That's
a lot of people from the north, they don't know what grits are. I knew what it was growing up because I grew up in the South for a little bit, for a few years.
So I just found out there's a whole thing called a pizza roll.
Oh, pizza roll.
Pizza log, right? No, maybe
pizza roll.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the pizza stuff inside, and you fry it.
It's like an egg roll,
it's so good.
It's pizza.
So good.
Never knew that was a thing until
what's really good with it? Powdered sugar. So you tear it off the breading because all the pizza stuff's on the inside with the pepperoni and stuff. Powdered sugar and.
Well, I'd have to try that one day.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some diversity.
So they'll call them pizza pockets here or something. They call them pizza pockets here or something like that. There, I forget what they were called here. I saw somebody had them and I was like, it's not going to be the same.
It's not going to be. Yeah. So I did hear. Apparently, they're bringing an Anchor Bar to Tucson.
A what?
Anchor Bar? Isn't that the original place for the buffalo wing?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was thinking a Navy thing because my son just got his Navy thing today. So I was like Anchor Bar.
Oh, congratulations.
Trident. That's what I was thinking was Trident Grill.
Yeah. No. So Anchor Bar.
Oh, that'd be good.
Apparently they've become kind of a chain.
Yeah.
We'll
find very few places that have good wings here.
Sounds like we're gonna have to try it.
Your mom's house has good wings. It's an actual bar in Tucson. It's called Your Mom's House.
It's just funny.
Every time you say it, it's funny. I don't care who you are. We want to thank one of our founding sponsors who helped make all this possible. The Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club International is a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on first responder and military families in need.
The Legion of St. Michael was founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, in memory of fallen officers. If you are interested in helping to support the Legion of St. Michael in their endeavors to assist first responders and military families, please reach out to a local chapter or contact the Idiots for a link for donations. But
it is hot.
It is very hot.
Have you noticed that? Oh my God.
It's been ridiculously hot. It's
I've got the AC blowing on my leg and I'm like, okay, down here under the table is great. Good. Oh, it's so hot up here.
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
So
I just realized that because I was like, holy crap. Really warm in here right now, but it's 113 outside. So.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So this next thing, the last topic I have for today, unless you have anything, importance of freedom and the cost. So the cost of freedom. Yeah. So since we're doing 4th of July,
free.
No, it is not.
In fact, I think it was Thomas Jefferson who said, I'm gonna mess up the quote again, but it's the tree of liberty must be watered by the blood of patriots and tyrants from time to time, or something along those lines. It's something pretty close to that.
Let's see if I can.
All right, here we go.
Properly. In a letter, in a 1787 letter to William Stephen Smith, John Adams, son-in-law to Thomas Jefferson. I didn't know that. John Adams was Thomas Jefferson's son-in-law. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
I had a pretty spot
You're
on.
pretty close. You're pretty
Refreshed.
close.
I did. I said watered, not
Yes,
refreshed.
Refreshed.
By the
Which that goes
Same
to
thing, yeah.
that
It's
goes
language.
to language, definitions, all that kind of stuff. I understand definitions change over time too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because what's a woman?
See that's
Oh, that
extreme
changed.
though.
Totally
That's
changed.
extreme though.
No,
And
it isn't. It's not extreme.
And I don't think it's
Sorry.
definitions change
Squirrel.
so much as
We decide to have different reasons for it.
not different reasons. It's used differently.
Correct.
Because refreshed in this context still means the same thing it means
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's just they used it differently. The way that sentences are constructed is different. So refreshed
I
still,
don't know
still
why I'm
means the
yawning.
same
I don't know why I'm yawning.
because you're old.
You're not wrong.
So that the thing is, how many tyrants have we had since then?
Not many. Hasn't
And
been
it-
refreshed in a while.
But there hasn't been need to. However, it says with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
So the blood of patriots has refreshed the tree of liberty a lot.
Yes.
We've had a
We've
lot of
been-
people sacrifice for our country.
And that's the cost of
Mhm.
liberty, cost of freedom.
Yep.
Liberty and freedom are different words,
Yes.
mean slightly different things, but they go hand in hand.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you don't have freedom without liberty.
Hmm.
You don't have liberty without freedom. They kind of go hand in hand. They mean different things. We wouldn't have freedom, like the freedom for all these protesters to do what they do. We wouldn't have freedom for you get to say whatever you want. We get to have a podcast saying retarded
Where I
things.
start yelling, I get mad. Did you fire me up?
We have a podcast. We can say
Pretty
what-
much editing.
We do censor ourselves
Yeah.
for
Personal and
platform reasons.
algorithm reasons.
Yeah, platform reasons. Other than that, like we
Yeah.
can really say whatever we want.
Absolutely.
We're trying to keep ourselves on the front page kind of thing. Because if you say certain things, stuff like YouTube and
They will cancel you
Instagram and
immediately.
stuff that will not cancel you, but they'll shadow ban you for the most part.
Yep.
Which I've noticed that with a few of our posts. Certain things, they're like, oh, it's a great post. Doesn't do very well.
Yeah.
And then the next one, all of a sudden we get back to our normal numbers. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah. It's a shadow man. It's fine.
Which,
Bam, I mean, you're a private platform. You can do whatever you want.
yeah. And I
If
totally,
I want freedom, I'll make my own platform.
and that's, I don't think people understand that's what freedom is. Freedom doesn't mean I can make you do things
Exactly.
because that's my freedom, because I'm free to say everything. If I'm using you as a business,
Like I
which
am
it is,
free to not stop when you get in front of me to try to make my car stop.
which Florida,
Just passed a law that you do not have to stop.
yeah, because
People are getting yanked out of their cars.
and it's insane what they're getting yanked out of their cars for. Like, and don't get me wrong, you have the freedom to do these things,
Yeah.
but freedom also comes with consequences. Freedom doesn't mean I can do these things with impunity.
Exactly.
There's consequences to actions. Like, that's physics. You know, every action has a equal
Yeah.
and opposite reaction. Granted, we've gone away from equal and opposite reaction
Yeah.
because we've gone soft, I'll say.
Yeah.
We've gone soft. If
You
you
let
do
certain
something-
people get away with stuff they shouldn't have been getting away with for a long time.
Yes. And I think it's that whole thing we talked about earlier with fairness. Fairness doesn't mean what people think it means.
No.
It doesn't mean equal outcome. It doesn't mean equal opportunity.
Nope.
Fairness means you get equal opportunity is something that was put out there so that everyone got the opportunity to do something. Fairness is a totally different thing. It doesn't mean that me and you apply for a job and I have 0 experience and you have 10 years experience.
Don't even get me into this conversation. You know you're going to just make me mad. One of the reasons I retired.
Yes. But I'm just saying, it's doesn't mean that I'd get the job over you.
Unless
because
you're
that's
really
fair.
good at certain things.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. But that's what they think fairness means. That I have that opportunity to get that job over you. I have that opportunity.
You have the opportunity to put in for it.
But it's
But they
treated
need to
fairly.
They still need to select their best applicants.
Yes. So it's kind of been washed away with participation trophies and
I hate those
things of that nature. Freedom, fairness, all that doesn't mean everyone has, you have a great life.
Yep.
Just because we live in America.
In fact, when I coached soccer, I told the guy who ran it, if we don't win, we don't want trophies.
Yes.
Well, I have to that's part of give us better jerseys.
Yeah.
And if we win, I'll take care of the trophy myself.
Mm-hmm.
So he would give, our team was the only team that had
jerseys.
dry fit jerseys.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, how'd you get those jerseys? Paid extra. And it wasn't that I paid extra. It's that I didn't get the $2 trophies. So the $2 extra went to a better uniform.
And see, stuff like that makes sense.
Yeah. And my kids, I did my own thing for my team where I actually kept track of points. I had a point system that they all knew about from day one. I explained how it was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a pass and then somebody gets a goal, the person who gets the goal gets 1 point. The person who does the pass gets 2.
So you're encouraging
Teamwork.
You're encouraging.
And if you make if you make a defensive play that keeps the other team from making a shot, or you're the goalie and you make a good save, those are all points.
See, that's awesome. But you found a way to make it a team thing because that's what a lot of stuff has turned into. It's like you have that 1 star.
And my best kid had a good combination of goals and assists. And that's what I'm looking for. Like my top 5, or I should say 6 kids on that team, all had almost as many assists as goals.
And that's
my whole forward line had almost as many assists as goals. So somebody was if it was open there, and it also kept them from I'm just going to shoot it to try to get a point.
You're building well-rounded players as well.
And I want to say half of those kids went on to play club sports and have been very successful. I've watched them play in high school, and they're all still really good soccer players.
See, and that's awesome.
I built a foundation.
You built that foundation of a well-rounded player.
Yep.
Granted, that's the thing. People are good at certain stuff. Mm-hmm. You might excel in certain areas, but if you don't work on those other areas, you'll never be great.
Nope.
Because this all leads into this as well.
Correct.
You're still gonna, it's not like all of a sudden you build this up and this is going to go down. It'll all kind of.
Yeah. It all kind of evens out.
Yeah. It might start catching up and you might not be this much better than this again, but you start building a well-rounded platform.
Yep.
And people.
It was crazy. And the parents loved it. Like the parents on the thing were like, oh my gosh, these kids are playing like a team. I'm like, yeah, it's the whole thing that I did for coaching them was to build that team aspect, period. Team.
And people are very
Yes.
They found that I in team.
Oh yeah. It's right in the A-hole. We'll have to put that up for these guys one of these days. But there is an I in team. It's in the A-hole if you use block letters.
People found it.
But I mean, that's the thing when you build that team. And that's what our military is. They build it to be a team. You're sacrificing yourself for the guy next to you. Yeah. And they're sacrificing themselves for you, because if we're all willing to sacrifice to protect each other, then guess what happens? Everybody's protected.
Yeah. When you're very self-centered, you ruin the whole team.
You worry more about you. And the whole point of our military power and the whole reason our military is so strong is they work together as a cohesive unit. It was the same thing in World War II. That's what the Germans did when they did blitzkriegs. It was a combination of their artillery, their tank units, and their infantry working together using radio comms, picking targets. So the other people like the French, the Polish, even the Americans at the time, you'd have 2 guys shooting at the same target. Well, what's the point of that? You got 2 other targets out there.
Yeah.
So the Germans were very good at, hey, you that target, you that target, you that target. And they're all shooting different targets. So they're taking out more of the enemy.
See, and
quicker.
People.
Now, it didn't hurt that their guns were really, really good in World War II.
There's that.
Until about mid-war. Mid-war, we started catching up.
So Germany did a lot of things that people were like, oh, that's so terrible. You took away the individual and all this stuff.
Can't have an individual in the army.
You can't have an individual on a team.
No.
Team is a team.
Nope.
And that's where people have lost that if we all prosper, I prosper.
Yep.
It's
me.
I prosper. Maybe though.
Me, sexy me, only me.
It's a very we've shifted there.
Oh, we've turned very egocentric.
And people don't realize if you go that direction, prosperity for one is not prosperity for all.
No.
And
that's kind of some of the tenet of capitalism is you do the best that you can. But
a rising tide raises all ships.
Yes.
That's kind of
a falling tide only crashes the ones on the rocks.
I mean, that's not wrong.
I made that up.
It's not wrong.
No, but I mean, that's the thing is if everybody can raise up due to hard work and teamwork and all that, that's the whole point of why our military is so good. Now, do we have we've obviously got great equipment, all that kind of stuff, but it comes down to people. People have to ultimately do the fighting.
Yeah.
And anything short of a nuclear holocaust
is...
Yeah. If you turn an entire country into glass, it doesn't really matter at that point, because there's nobody left.
And those are weapons that people understand.
Yeah.
We have them. We try our best not to use.
Yes.
Because it is devastating for everybody.
Yeah. Everything and everybody.
Because it doesn't just affect wherever you drop them.
Oh no, you get that fallout. You can get that fallout halfway across the world in the if the winds are right.
Yeah. So it's not.
No, I mean look. It was at Chernobyl. When Chernobyl went up, we were detecting the radiation in the United States,
which is crazy.
Like
if you really think about it, how much?
That's literally the exact opposite side of the world.
Well, and it's not even just that. We can even bring it to just a national level. When there's certain wildfires, stuff like that, it affects other people.
Yep.
And this is going back towards like a little bit of the politics side of it. People don't realize how much of an influence California has on the rest of the country.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
And by doing the things that they're doing to try to raise their numbers unlawfully, mind you, they're affecting everyone else because what works for California.
Well, and also that by raising their population, when they do a census, they get more electoral votes. They get more representatives in the House of Representatives.
Yes, and people think, oh,
but they're not voting.
It
has nothing to do with their voting. It has to do with the populace.
Yes, so they don't realize that we've hit our cap for the House of Representatives. But what it does is they're not adding extra representatives. No, they're taking representatives from other states and adding more representatives for California.
So now basically you have then changed the makeup of the House.
So now you're saying stuff like North Dakota, which is sparsely populated, now lost another representative, and California got one more. And
California knows nothing about what people in North Dakota need.
No.
Nothing.
No, it's
California doesn't even know what California needs at this point.
That's what I was about
to
say.
They're so dumb.
The wildfires in California. How many years?
How long have we been telling them you need to manage the forest? That means cutting undergrowth. That means doing this, doing that. Well,
using controlled
we didn't
fires.
fill up the reservoirs because we have this little smelt fish that's seen everywhere else on the planet, but we need to save it in the LA River.
Yeah. It's
how about we fill up our reservoirs and give people water?
Maybe take care of your actual people and not just
a smelt fish.
But that's the crazy thing is their inefficiencies reflect on the rest of the country. It has devastating effects for the rest of the country.
And if the rest of the country bails them out with all these riots and gives them money to repair everything, this is like Fire. Oh, federal money to repair it, which I have no problem against FEMA helping out with the fires. It's a natural disaster. Earthquakes. I have no problem with that.
But there should be certain stipulations once you hit a certain point. Because when I was younger, I don't remember California having this many wildfires. They actually
they did not
maintained it better. Not saying they maintained it the best, but they maintained it better than it is now. Now they've kind of just cut that funding. Oh, we don't have the funding to be able to do this.
Well, because they're spending it on cleaning up poop in the streets with the crap app.
Well, yeah, there's that too. All of San Francisco's brown.
Like, literally, like, give me a break. Like, you had to create a phone app so people could report where the human feces are to get picked up. Like, your state has gone that crappy. Like, no. Oh, you're picking one? Oh, I thought you were going to go to like one of the other ones.
No, I was trying to find that one. But it's so sad that people don't realize what's going on and how all this stuff affects the freedom of everybody else.
Yeah.
See, brought us back to freedom.
Freedom.
It really does, because what's good for California isn't good for Arizona.
No.
Isn't good for Kansas.
Isn't good for Colorado. Isn't good for Tennessee. And what Tennessee needs isn't good for Arizona. Isn't good for it.
And that's what the Senate's there for, to kind of help balance that out, because the founding fathers, even being as young as they were, we're going to have 2 representatives for every state in the Senate. And that kind of balances out population-wise, because then it can, but it doesn't always work that way. But
they didn't want the original coastal colonies to speak for the entire country. Like, they were like, well, we can't really do that because what's good for New York isn't good for South Carolina.
Yes. And they understood that. Yeah. The funny thing is, I saw a little clip the other day of someone saying the founding fathers knew less than ninth grade, or than a 12-year-old.
They don't know as much as a 12-year-old did. Yeah, because we didn't know about germs back then. We didn't know about these things.
They were very intelligent on other things. 12-year-olds don't know Latin. They don't know the Roman Empire.
Okay, tell me what that pincher movement is in the military. Oh, they don't know? Oh, these guys were soldiers at the age of 16.
So they try to compare it. Yes, science has gone so much further now, so we know different things, and kids do know stuff that founding fathers wouldn't have known.
Well, I mean, great example in our agency, I had to memorize that one thing, but you guys didn't have to. You guys didn't even have to recite it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even have to read it. We had to not only read it, we had to memorize it.
That's great.
And if you didn't, you failed. They took points off, and you could fail and lose your job because you didn't memorize a 2-paragraph statement.
Which is crazy if you really think about it.
It is, but the reason is we didn't have electronic stuff to do it. You had a typewriter and a triplicate form. And it sucked because you never made a mistake at the beginning. It was always on like the last page at the very bottom. You type something wrong. You're like, oh, I got to start over again.
You're just showing
because you have the boss who'd be like, no.
You're just showing your age now.
I don't care. That's fine. I'm retired now. I'm going to sit on the porch and spit at people.
So guys, let's go to our audience here. How many people that actually watch this used a typewriter? I did. I have actually used a typewriter. Yeah. I did when I was younger. I did. But how many people even know what a typewriter is? Because even then,
how many people know what a rotary phone is?
Yes. That's great.
Our first TV didn't have a remote other than the kids.
You were the remote.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Dad would throw the slip ratchet, change the channel.
And it was only like 4 channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were
You had to move the antenna.
Hold it right there. Don't move.
Don't move. For the next 5 hours for the football game, don't move.
Oh, that was great. I do miss that.
Our satellite dishes were huge. Like when satellite first came out, it was like a 35-foot dish.
Yeah.
And you'd like, oh, we're going to change channels. And you'd change the channel and you'd watch the thing go. And it would lock on the satellite. And then it'd start here. And midway through the game, it'd be over there because it was tracking the satellite and moving with it. And you're like,
it's actually
because they weren't geocentric orbits at that time. Geocentric, is that what it is? Yeah. Geosynchronous orbits. They didn't stay in the same spot back then.
So bring it,
and then right when the play's getting ready to be good, switch to the next one. Switch to the next one. Ah!
I didn't have one of those satellites when I was younger.
Oh, a friend of ours did, and we were like, oh my God. He had a Pontiac Transport and a Pontiac Aztec.
Pontiac Transport?
Yeah, it was their van. Pontiac had a van.
Oh, I remember Transport. The van. I didn't know it was called that.
Yeah, it had the big glass. It was like 30 feet long. Like on the dash, you could put like 10 children. It was crazy.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Not that you know from experience or anything.
Oh, no. We had totally set up there. You had a wiener dog you'd put up on there.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I said dog. Here comes one.
It's almost like you called her.
Hey, Pie. My piggy pie.
Your piggy pie. But I think on that note, it's about to be football season, guys.
Yep.
So we're getting
Go Bills! Yeah.
It's all right. I already brought up the Cowboys.
I know.
Very American.
I kept my mouth shut.
I know you did. But you had to admit, though, that was
that's
what
phenomenal.
he said.
I love it.
And it's very true. And like I said, this
America.
flag stands for everybody.
We need to get that other flag with the extra.
Yes.
With the yellow, for corrections officers and
we
military
need to get
and everything.
Because
we just have the military and then the regular flag right now.
It's military and
federal law enforcement.
Federal law enforcement. So that's what the green is.
The green stands for.
We need to get blue line.
Well, they have one that has all of it. It has
all
like the different stripes for the different colors. Right? It's like 5 or 6 now.
Is it?
Because there's first responders, firemen. So I have yellow, red, green, blue for police.
Yes.
And then I think there was another one. I'll find one. We'll get it put up soon.
Yeah, we'll get one of those.
Because there can always have more America.
Oh, yeah. Never can have enough.
No.
But like I said, I don't want to hit it again. I was going to hit it again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
well, in that case.
That's why I had this.
That's my cue. Oh, okay. Well, then we're going to live good.
Ride hard.
And we will catch you next time. Oh, that one came in spicy.